Welcome to the Moore Realtors Weekly St. Louis Real Estate Market Update. I'm Dennis Norman, one of the brokers at Moore, and if you'll give me a few minutes of your time, I'll bring you up to date on what's happening in the St. Louis housing market. Let's jump right in with the real estate news. Here are some of the headlines from this past week from stlouisrealestatenews.com, St. Louis's best local source of news and information on the St. Louis real estate market. That's stlouisrealestatenews.com. Headlines included a report showing that the St. Louis foreclosure sales increased in second quarter, and that in fact 1 of every 4 home sales in St. Louis is a foreclosure sale. Here's a great article by a new contributor to our to the site from on how to negotiate the best deal for yourself when negotiating a deal in real estate. Great article. An article from a local mortgage banker on Missouri Housing Development Corporation's cash assistance program. It has a loan rate of 4.5% now. And then a report from the Commerce Department showing that new home sales dropped again in July, and that just 2011 is continuing to be an abysmal year for new home sales, on track to be the worst year ever, unfortunately. Now let's jump into the market data. The first 3 slides I'm going to show you have data which represents the entire St. Louis metropolitan area, the entire St. Louis MSA. This first one here is our real-time market profile. I'll just go over a couple of the items here. You can get complete information at our website, mo-re.com. That's mo like Missouri -re like real estate.com. We see median home prices for the week for the St. Louis MSA, 183,819. Average days on market, even though it shows it's flat here, it ticked up about 4 days. I believe it was about 99 days last week. I'm sorry, it ticked up about 14 days. So that's ticked up a little bit. Down here to our trademarked market action index, it is a 12, which is cold. It's a buyer's market. Same place it's been for quite a while. Quick reminder, if that was a 30, it would be a perfectly balanced market. It would not favor buyers or sellers. Supply and inventory and demand and everything would fit together rather nicely. As that number goes above 30 up to a high of 60, the higher it is, the hotter the market is, the more it favors sellers. As it drops below 30, the closer it gets to 0, the colder the market is, the more it favors buyers. Here we can see our market action index for about the past 3 years and where it's bounced around. We're not at the lowest point. The lowest point was late last summer and fall, when it was down here bouncing around 11.5, but it did peak earlier this year and has been dropping ever since. This next chart, this shows again for the St. Louis MSA the median price trend and for the past year, and we can see the orange line represents a 90-day average of prices. And we can see they have dipped down into the winter and rose back up into summer, and now they seem to be trending downward. The black line is an average, a 7-day average of prices, so it's a little more jagged. It shows where the market's going before the longer term trend line gets there. And we can see it's been showing a downward movement, so a downward price trend, and now again the 90-day average is starting to follow, so we can see prices going down a little bit. Now the remaining charts I'm going to show here zoom in a little more on the St. Louis market, the Missouri St. Louis market, and the core of that. This is all the data I'm going to show you now is for the St. Louis 5-county area, which is comprised of the city of St. Louis County, St. Charles County, Jefferson County, and Franklin County. Those 5 counties, the market data combined. This first slide here, this shows the number of sales and the average sales price for these 5 counties. And we can see July's data, since this is sales and sold data, lags behind. August is not going to be accurate at this point, but July's is complete. And we can see the sales volume in July did drop rather significantly from the June and May activity. It's just slightly above back what it was in April. And that looks like maybe around 1,700 listings sold, give or take. We peaked up here above 2,000 sales in June. The green line is the average sales price, and we can see it's actually been moving upward. It's somewhere around that 175, 180 mark back here. Now this next chart shows the median home sales prices as well as the median number of days it took for these homes to sell in the 5-county area. And this is looking at the last 12 months. Green line represents the median home sales prices, and we can see it's bounced around a little bit, but for the past few months has been trending upward, and now looks like it might have plateaued. The blue line represents the median number of days these homes sat on the market before they sold. Hit a peak in March of upwards of around 100 days, dropped down here to just above 60, and it's coming in at around, I guess for July, maybe 70 days, and into August a little higher. So we can see that for this 5-county area, that is running lower. It's taking less time to sell a home than the overall St. Louis MSA that we looked at earlier that showed 113 days. Here's the same data, just a little closer look at the year-to-date, and we can again see what's happening with the prices and the days on market. This next chart here shows a ratio or the relationship of the sales price that the home sold for versus their list price, what the sellers were asking. We look at this two ways. One is the green line, which goes back to what was that house originally listed at when it first hit the market, so the relationship of the final sales price to its initial listing price. The blue line represents the sales price versus what the house was listed for at the time it sold, so after any adjustments to the price along the way. Now this is not an indicator of market value of the homes. This is an indicator of how smart the sellers are being, or more directly, how good a job the listing agents are doing. Because this is why it's critical that sellers in this market work with professionals that know the market, that study the market here in St. Louis, know the neighborhoods and know what's going on, and also are confident enough in their ability to sit down in front of you as a seller and tell you what the truth is about the value of your home and what you need to do to market it. Because when we're in a market like this where home prices have been declining over a period of time, it's doing you no good to overprice them. And that's what we pride ourselves with at More Realtors, is we, between my partner and I and our 60 years experience in the St. Louis market and the professionals that we train and that work with us, we do this. We help you come out on the market priced appropriately and get the job done. And we can see here that in general, the blue line here, we can see the sales price to listing price ratio. We can kind of ignore July or August because again the sales data is really not in. But for July, it finished above 90%. So on average, sellers were selling their homes at, let's say, about 91, 92% of what they were listed for at the time they sold them. And it is trending upwards. So listing agents and sellers are doing a little better job. Now the way it's looking going into August, it looks great. We'll see how that continues. But looking at the green line though versus what they were originally listed at, that was drawn near here, the two lines, but boy, in July it really fell off. Homes are really selling for about 70-71% of their original list price. Here's the same data, just year to date, and again, just a little easier to see the relationship in the two there. Now we're going to go to a chart that shows the listing inventory, how many homes are out there for sale in this 5-county area, and how many listings are expiring at the end of the listing period without selling. And looking at the last 12 months, the green line represents the months of inventory. So how many months of how many months of homes are on the market as they relate to the sales activity. And we can see that it's bounced around. We had well over an 80-month supply back in the winter, dropped down to maybe less than 50, something in the 40s back here, 40-something day supply in June. And in July, did go up and started getting back up above the 50 mark. The blue line shows how many listings are expiring. Quite a few listings expired unsold in June. It dropped down to about 3,000 listings in July, and it's trending upward. And finally here, this is kind of a long-term look. This is a 10-year look at the median list prices and median sales prices for this 5-county area in St. Louis. Blue line represents the median list prices, green sales prices. Both of them peaked in '06 during the boom. Both of them have been declining ever since. If we look at just the last 12 months, we can see a little straying here. We get the list prices are increasing while the median sales prices are decreasing. Now what I've given you here is a quick snapshot of the overall St. Louis market, and this is just a tip of the iceberg of some of the resources that we have available at More Realtors. We have some proprietary data and charts and analysis that we do and that we have done for us that no other realtor in St. Louis has, and more importantly, we have people like myself and my partner John Williams who have the experience and the knowledge and the expertise along with the people that we've trained and that work with us and that we mentor and supervise that can help use this data for your real estate situation, whether you're buying or selling a home or you're an investor. Our website at mo-re.com is just one of hundreds of websites we have out there with information. Lots of data. We have market data going down to zip code level or neighborhood level. We have up here in the upper right hand corner, you see just a little snapshot. We have a great newsletter that comes out, an electronic newsletter comes out monthly. You can subscribe to that. That free newsletter on our website at mo-re.com, or if you're at stlouisrealestatenews.com, upper right hand corner you'll see a big red box. You can sign up for the newsletter there. I'd suggest you do that. It's constantly changing, has some great info. And something new we now have an iTunes an iTunes podcast channel. It is the St. Louis Real Estate Market Update, and basically you can get this update that I'm doing here that I do weekly. You can get that right through iTunes. You can subscribe to our podcast channel. It'll be in your iTunes automatically once you've subscribed. I'd ask you to rate it. Take the time to review it. Hopefully you love it. Give us 5 stars. You can review this or watch us once you do that on your iPhone or other smartphone. And again, to find that, go to your iTunes store. Click on podcast and search for St. Louis Real Estate Market Update, and you'll see this logo here, the arch in front of one of my charts. You might see a couple others come up, but this is what you're looking for here. And finally, and feel free to contact us at any time if we can do anything. You can contact me, Dennis Norman, at my email address is dennis@mo-re.com. My partner, John Williams, John at mo-re.com. Call me direct at 314-332-1012. Call John 314-414-6000. Finally, quick little legal blurb here. Read that in your spare time. And that's it. God bless you. Have a great week. I'll see you in a week.